Happy New Year. Welcome back to G Spot. So glad you're here. I'm your host, Gigi, and today's topic is entitled K.I.S.S. Gentlemen, we're cutting through the noise with one ancient, powerful principle we constantly ignore. K.I.S.S. Keep it super simple. It's time to stop overcomplicating the one thing we all crave: genuine connection. Are you a simple man? Or is it only simple in your head, while in real life it's more complicated in practice? Ask yourself, do you say you want simple, but your actions create chaos? We hurt our own feelings with expectations that exist purely in our own heads. We set up situations designed for failure and then act shocked when they collapse. Is referring to yourself as simple just a mask you put on when you don't want to make an effort or be responsible and accountable for your actions or the lack of action? The perception could also be that a man that believes himself to be simple is lazy and lacks emotional depth. No one is ever really simple. It takes genuine effort and work to just be and deal with yourself on a daily basis. I understand that referring to oneself as simple may be to convey that you want things to be uncomplicated, straightforward, or that you're easygoing or content with simple pleasures instead of grand gestures. Simple can also imply drama free, no demands, and nothing complex. That's not always realistic. Things happen in life that may or may not be within your control and can get complex and require a lot of your energy, mental capacity, and may cause a lot of stress very quickly. Men, I know you're very visual beings, and most often the initial focus is just physical. But once you're involved with another person, it's never, quote unquote, simple. You're trying to translate what you want to someone else who comes from a different background and different ways of thinking than your own, and believing that it's simple. Men and women are complex, but the core issues usually aren't. So, are you setting yourself up for failure with unreal expectations? Within the first few moments of meeting or having a conversation, people usually tell you exactly who they are. Your job is simple: pay attention. There's nothing wrong with craving human connection and intimacy. We all have needs that we want to be met, but you have to be honest with yourself and with others from the beginning. Let's talk dating. If, for example, you know deep down you're not in a position to date financially, emotionally, physically, why do you put yourself out there? Why seek rejection only to blame the other person for the rejection you solicited? Remember, you have to consider the other person has the right to think that you aren't ready for them in any or maybe all of those areas. And choose not to be involved. Does that make them a bad person? It doesn't. And you could very well make the same conclusion about them. Now, it's no longer simple. It becomes complicated, and you have to state your intentions up front and be ready for the response that may not be favorable. We all crave human connection and don't always know how to honestly ask for that need to be met. But I think this is a good start. It takes courage to initiate communication and keep conversation flowing, but it is very necessary. Sometimes the best response is a direct response. Take a chance. Even if it doesn't work out, it's still good practice. Authenticity begins with being true to yourself. Your script may need a rewrite. We have to be honest with ourselves and stop operating from a place of fear and doubt. Take that leap of faith and communicate where you are, what your needs are right now. This single step saves everyone time, energy, and potential heartbreak. It also lets you see who is actually a fit for you in the current season of your life. Start thinking differently to build better connections, stronger communities, and real relationships as well as friendships. Every encounter may not result in a love connection, but we all need to support one another, not compete against each other. We need to create safe spaces to confide in others without judgment, just genuine advice and encouragement. That means facing yourself, telling the truth, and not running when things get tough. I believe every good relationship starts with a solid foundation rooted in friendship. For better or worse, you are the common denominator in all of your interactions. Your attitude, communication, emotions, and past experiences shape how every interaction materializes. You can't always control what happens to you, but you are accountable for how you respond and responsible for the role you play and the impact that you have. Consider this: you could be the first positive man that a woman has ever encountered, and one action or word can change that person for a lifetime. I know that a lot of men out there have grown up without positive male role models, mentors, without a healthy sense of masculinity or general kindness. By recognizing you might be a person's sole positive reference point, I want to encourage all the men listening to operate with a higher standard of integrity, patience, and respect. It transforms ordinary interactions, like being a present father, a patient and respectful friend, into impactful moments and acts of quiet leadership. Quiet leadership isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistent, intentional actions with integrity. True leadership involves understanding before being understood. Here's a few tips that you can practice daily to exercise quiet leadership. Get rid of distractions. When someone is speaking to you, give them your full and undivided attention. Turn off your phone or put it face down. This will signal that they are valued by you and you're fully interested and invested in the conversation. Just listen, don't respond. Focus fully on what is being said, the emotions, body language, and what the person is saying is needed from you. Then confirm you understand the conversation. For instance, start with a question, repeat your understanding, and ask if it's correct. If not, ask for clarification. Acknowledgement of their view without judgment. For example, I can see why you feel that way. Integrity means your actions match your words. Model the behavior you want to see. If you want better communication, communicate clearly and calmly. If you want a non judgmental space, refrain from judging others. Prioritize self care. Quiet leaders understand they can't pour from an empty cup. Carve out time daily for physical exercise, mental rest, or spiritual practice. This models healthy boundaries and sustainable living to others. Be reliable. Do what you say you are going to do. Consistency builds trust, the bedrock of all leadership. Communicate with clarity and vulnerability. Cut through the noise by being direct about your needs and feelings. State your intentions up front in dating, work, or friendships. Be clear about what you are looking for right now. Use I statements for disagreement. Instead of you always dismiss my opinions, try I feel my opinion is being dismissed right now, and I would like the chance to explain my perspective. Ask for help when needed. Showing that you do not have all the answers is a sign of strength and security, not weakness. When you demonstrate quiet leadership and integrity, there is no doubt that a person would be able to trust and implement your advice, follow with confidence, and support when you need it. The person you are obligated to take care of first is yourself, period. That requires that you take care of your body, mind, soul, spirit, and your heart. And when you do this, you can then give the benefit of the growth and wisdom to someone else. You can't give what you don't possess or have the capacity for. So instead of diving in head first, dip a toe or two in. Check the temperature of the water. You'll see more clearly and make a better decision. It's selfless and loving to be upfront and not stand in the way of your future or someone else's. Most of our reactions are rooted in old wounds and have nothing to do with the person in front of you. We project our insecurities, reject any criticism, and think we are protecting ourselves by pushing others away. But that's not how you grow and thrive in relationships of any kind. That type of reaction, when you have an opposing opinion, disagreement, or argument, never works. Anger, hurt, heartache, these need an outlet. They need redirection. They need a listening ear and someone willing to show up. That's part of being a man, part of being a woman, part of being a functional human being. We all need to learn a healthier vocabulary for disagreement, one that doesn't detonate your entire relationship. So let's keep it super simple. Lay it on the line. For example, you're hurting my feelings, or I feel my opinion is being dismissed. Say what you actually feel, calmly and clearly. No one wants to be made to feel that they're not of value. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's courageous and the gateway drug to change. If your vulnerability is met with judgment, if you're told you're weak for expressing emotion, then that's your sign. This person isn't for you. Here are a couple of simple truths that I have learned. The fastest way to lose a woman, relationship, partner, or any opportunity is to assume that she or it will always be there or is replaceable. A man that doesn't protect, guard, or pour into what he values will leave the door open for another man to be the beneficiary of his gross negligence. Assumptions lead to inaction, which leads to loss. The greatest kindness is to sometimes let a person know that this isn't a good fit for you and let them go. And lastly, there's no me without you and no you without me. Let's change the cycle this time around. And that is as simple as it gets. If you would like to join this conversation, I have a challenge for you this week. Take that leap of faith and share one moment where being authentic made the difference in your life or a relationship. Comment below. Share your experiences right here on this platform. You can always email me directly at gspot, GSSPOT 2025 at gmail.com. Thanks again for tuning in to G-Spot. If you found value in today's conversation, please don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to the podcast channel, share this episode with other men in your life who need to hear this message. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Let's keep growing together and narrowing the divide. Open up to me.